My name is Steve. I have been a life coach for 12 years now, and I'm amazed at how many excuses, rationalizations, justifications, obstacles people put in front of the things that they say that they want to accomplish. It's astounding. I even do it myself and really have to be vigilant to catch myself. But it's something that as human beings, we want to protect our ego. We want to stay safe, comfortable, secure, being able to engage in immediate gratification. Excuse me. And we don't want to put ourselves in a place of vulnerability where we might get rejected, where we might fail, where we might get judged, where we might get criticized. To accomplish the things that people say that they want in life, it requires some very basic ingredients that most people are not willing to expend. And we must be honest with ourselves on what our budget is. How much out of our comfort zone do we want to take ourselves? How much rejection do we want to expose ourselves to? How much failure do we want to endure? And when you calculate your budget, then you'll be able to set your goal. Most people set a goal and then can't understand why they don't achieve it. Well, it's because their budget is too small. They want things, or we want things, without making sacrifices, without the blood, sweat, and tears and hard work and courage and discomfort that it takes in order to accomplish these things. And it astounds me because this is really not talked about much. Everyone is so focused on goal setting, and what we need to do is budget setting. What are we willing to sacrifice? It's a very important question that we need to ask ourselves. And when I'm coaching clients, I really try and want to gauge what their budget is. Because when I first know their budget, then I can know if their goals are realistic or unrealistic. And most people set unrealistically high goals, and they don't want or have what it takes in order to get it accomplished. And it's not necessary to beat ourselves up about that. It's to be honest with ourselves. Hey, some people, they're like, want a comfortable, cushy, easy life. That's fine. Just set appropriate goals. Some people don't want to get rejected, don't want to approach a person that they might find attractive in the supermarket or out in the streets or out and about, or if they're going to a social event. And if you don't want to make that sacrifice and you don't want to get rejected, you're probably going to be single. And if you're not single, you're probably going to choose someone that is safe and doesn't completely fulfill you or has missing qualities or attributes that you would like in a partner. Nothing wrong with it as long as we're honest with ourselves. The danger is most people, we set unrealistically high goals and expectations on ourselves or habits. We don't stick with them because they're out of our budget, just like a financial budget. When you go in to buy a car or buy a house or something expensive, one of the first things they were going to ask you is, what is your budget? Because that will determine how nice of a house you can get or what type of car you can get. And that's what we want to do, because if we don't do that, what happens is in my coaching sessions, we have to do rehabilitation because a lot of people have broken their word to themselves so many times that they no longer trust themselves. And so what they do is they set very low-level goals, or they just don't commit to things because the pain of failure, the pain of not being able to stick with it is too much for them to handle. And so they just say, okay, I'm just going to keep my goals and habits very, very low and mediocre. And again, nothing wrong with that. What is the goal that you're trying to accomplish? I assume you want to be fulfilled. You want to be content. You want to feel like your life has a purpose. And if you don't feel that way, then you got to start adding to your budget, basically. Because when we break our word to ourselves so many times, it's devastating to our confidence. We don't trust ourselves. Other people don't trust us. And we just stagnate. And that's not what we want. That's not what fulfills us as human beings. That's not what gets us excited to wake up and get out of bed in the morning and say, I can't wait to start this day. And we should, not every day, but we should have that feeling, a sense of fulfillment and purpose from our life and the life situations that we've set up for ourselves. Now, when we struggle with accomplishing goals, and what I do in coaching is we really focus on getting to the root cause. And a lot of clients are completely unaware why they struggle in accomplishing or sticking to habits or sticking to their goals or completing their to-do list. And I say this phrase a lot in coaching is let's peel the onion. Let's see what's at the core that's preventing you or inhibiting you from accomplishing what you want to do. And it's actually very exciting because a lot of clients didn't even realize what was stopping them. They just thought they were lazy. They just thought they were undisciplined. And many of us struggle with that self-judgment. We're not good enough. I can't accomplish things. What's wrong with me? The failed New Year's resolutions. And it's a vicious cycle. And I'll just give you a few things, some of the common things that come up in coaching sessions, which prevent people from accomplishing the things that they want out of their life or creating the life that they want. The biggest one, or one of the biggest one, is courage. We, as human beings, make the mistake that we need to feel courageous before we take action. Okay, when I feel courageous, I'll take that trip that I've been dreaming about by myself that scares me in Machu Picchu, for example, or I'll go to like a foreign country where I don't know how to speak the language and it's really terrifying and I might even have to quit my job or sell some possessions. And then there's a lot of fear there. And courage comes after we do the thing that we fear. So once you do it, and the key thing is you start small. You don't start with a huge, fearful goal and expect yourself to accomplish it because your brain is trying to protect you and it'll shut you down. It'll sabotage you because it thinks it's too risky. Remember, human beings, we value, or it's almost not even value, we automatically default to safety, comfort, and ease. You have to nudge or push yourself, or even more effective is get someone like a coach who is going to hold you accountable and who's going to support you and give you the proper strategies and help you work your way up to the goal. But it's human beings, we're creatures of habits, we love our ruts, and we get stuck in them. And so part of the thing that I did, especially when I was younger, I didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to live a traditional life. You go to school, then you go to university, or you get a job, and then you work 40, 50 years, and you save up, you buy a house, you have a couple kids, and you have cars and things like that, and not really live. And that is the most important thing to discover who you are, is to get out of your comfort zone and strengthen that muscle of courage. And that muscle of courage is like going to the gym. Your muscles aren't going to get stronger unless you go to the gym, unless you suffer and there's no pain, no gain. If you lift light, easy weights, you're not going to, and you don't progress from there, you're not going to make significant progress. So what I work on with coaching is we start small, developing that muscle of courage. And I give my clients small little goals, action items in between our sessions, the ones that want it, in order to social stretch, in order to get out of their comfort zone, in order to push their boundaries, in order to give them maybe a physical, challenging task. And these things are stepping stones to much bigger goals and habits and accomplishments. And if you start small and you work your way up, the big overwhelming goal no longer seems so formidable. And that's exciting. And one of the comments I often get from clients when I give them their social stretching or their challenges to get them out of their comfort zone, or to get rejected, or to fail at something, or to do things that make them uncomfortable, is one, oh my God, I didn't realize it wasn't as hard as my brain made it. And our brain is very deceptive. It always, or usually always, makes things much more difficult in our mind than in reality. And once you start practicing this of giving yourself even just mini daily challenges, you start to see it becomes exciting. It becomes addicting. You're like, oh, what can I do today to get that rush or that like emotional high of accomplishment, of confidence, of boldness? And it's really, really exciting to be able to constantly push your comfort zone. So things that scared you, terrified you, or that you were fearful of a couple months ago no longer have that same power or hold that same power over you. And there's other things that will come up in coaching sessions. That was just one example. The other example is energy. People think they're lazy. I can't accomplish things. And I really don't even like to work on goals, habits, until we get the energy at a high level. Because if your energy is low, there's no fuel in the tank to propel you to accomplish or stick with goals, habits, or things that you want to complete in your life, tasks and stuff like that. You just feel drained, and you're going to go into conservation mode. So you go into resistance, mental resistance. You'll procrastinate. You'll go on screens to numb the pain of doing something that you don't have energy for or is making you anxious. And so what I work on with coaching with the clients is, let's bump up significantly your energy level. When your energy level's high, and it takes time. It takes time because most of us we waste a lot of energy through poor diet, poor sleep, stress and anxiety, not exercising, not getting enough sunlight, not drinking enough water, not too much water. Some people overdrink, but just not drinking enough water, maybe having some mineral, vitamin deficiencies that you need to get tested for. And when there's no fuel in the tank, you feel flat, you feel down, you feel depressed, you feel like the world is overwhelming. And so that's just another example as we work on slowly, my approach is baby steps, but slowly increasing your energy level and behavioral habit changes with accountability. That's the difference, and that's the beauty of having a life coach. Not a friend, not a family member, and it's somebody that will support you, but also hold you accountable. And when you have that social accountability, you're much more likely, significantly more likely, to stick with things that you say that you want to do, and more importantly, to set realistic goals and habits. Most people, just like I started off this video, have unrealistic goals and habits that we repeatedly struggle to complete. And so it's really exciting because we're so much more capable, and we don't even realize how much we're capable because we have those. I gave 2 examples of things that hold us back. There are many other examples, but not enough time in this video to cover all of them. But when I'm coaching clients, there's many, many examples of things that come up. They're like, oh my God, that was blocking me. That was blocking my flow. That was blocking my creativity. That was blocking my productivity. That was blocking my courage. And so it's really exciting to just be light and float through life instead of having this heavy weight or ball and chain attached to each of our ankles and then thinking that we're incapable of accomplishing magnificent, magical things. And it doesn't have to be what society dictates. You don't have to chase money. You don't have to chase fame. You don't have to chase power. It takes so little to be content. And one of the things that gives us that contentment is when we accomplish things. And those accomplishments you don't want them to be for other people to approve of you. And unfortunately, that's what most people chase. What's going to get me the most approval? We don't want that, because you're going to fall flat on your face because it's not coming from your heart. And when it comes from your heart, you're inspired, you're pulled, you enter that flow state. And it's really exciting. And like I said, it's addicting. And that's what we want, is not, oh, I have to do this, I should do this, I need to do this, putting pressure on ourselves. It's living a life like, I want to do these things, and I've cleansed myself, I've simplified myself, I've dealt with my baggage, and I'm able to float through life in a way that it's not filled with pressure and obligation. It's filled with positive energy, and that's what you want, and that's what keeps you consistent over a long period of time. I'll leave you with this. I always look at clients and see where they're coming from, and what I found this maxim to be true that I share with my clients is, I don't know, it's just kind of like came to me, this little saying, because I've seen such repetitive behavior of the excuses, the rationalizations, the justifications. And what I find the difference of my clients, or just people in general, who accomplish things and really make steady, consistent progress in their life, is their attitude towards obstacles. And if you want to do something, you find solutions. If you don't want to do something, you find obstacles. And the obstacles are an indicator you don't want it badly enough, or like I talked about in the beginning of this video, your budget is too small, and we really need to work on in significantly increasing your budget so that you're able to accomplish the things that you want out of life. If you like very affordable life coaching, my email is in the description. The consultation is absolutely free with no obligation afterwards. And then it's ridiculously affordable after that. And it's fun. It's challenging. And it's rewarding, getting coaching from someone that's experienced and someone that does this full time. This is my career. So thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. And as always, I really appreciate comments and sharing the video. And if you like more videos like this, please subscribe. And until next time, I look forward to it. And don't just walk away from this or click to the next video. Take some notes from this video and take some notes of things that you're going to apply. Make a plan, and it doesn't have to be huge. And if you want support for that, I'm here for you. Bye-bye.